data. And with that happening, the dollar started to come off. I'm looking at this as possibly being an ABC. So maybe the next trade should have made money on this. We were prepped for 101.5, was good for 150 pips. And we also bought some euro, and that rally was pretty good too. That was good for about 120 pips. So the euros was rejected from resistance. Maybe it's just going to be a little pullback here and go again. Otherwise, you're looking at deeper corrections. I still am in the camp that go with the girl you brought to the dance, and that was this decline for us in the dollar. And perhaps we just, this is a little 4, and then we get a 5. This is really the key area. In fact, it would be an add-on. We start closing back under par, you could sell more and tighten up your stops over 101. So I talk about taking partials. You could also add to positions when you have some type of breakdown. Target for this move would be about 98.5, which was kind of an important low. And then you'd go 98.5 from 101.5 because it give you 5.5. But the low could come in the mid sixes, 96. So I'm going to stay with that. I really don't want to trade the short side of the dollar if we take this out. Then I think something else is going on. It bothers me because sentiment is so bearish the dollar. There's so many people on that side of the boat. It's not as comfortable as it was when the Dixie was 108 and 110 and 107. So a lot of company bearish the dollar. Wouldn't that be a surprise if this was the bottom for a move to much higher levels? So this is my last bus stop for trading the short side of the dollar for a while, looking for one more low. I expect to be long the dollar after that, but one step at a time. We'll see what happens. Aussie is the weak sister today. I know a lot of people were looking for higher levels. Maybe we're going to just get this over with and take Aussie down into this under the 63 handle, say around 62.5 or so, would be a buying opportunity. The adjustment I made today was I came out of my TLT puts. I stayed thinking there might be a hot number that could flush us under 85, but we've had good rallies off this area before. I don't think the rally will be as strong as it was from there to there, but we could get a rally. I still don't believe this is a major bottom. This is more tactical of just getting out of the way and looking for better entries after a rally. And I'll wrap it with WTI. As you know, uh, President Trump extended a peace deal to the Iranians that it seems like they want to accept. And with that happening, we have WTI only $1 lower. So with news like that, we're going to have peace. You would have expected much more. It's still early in the day, it could happen, but I like the way it came back and held 60. 60 was kind of a breakout, and now it resets the RSI at lower levels so that it could have some momentum to break out over this level. This has been a big level. Twice we've been rejected, kind of like here. It was a little higher here, but this would be a big close if we got a 64 close, 63 close. And, right now, only good news is baked into price. Everything's okay. So if you're a contrarian buying oil on a potential peace deal, nuclear deal with Iran is a contrarian thing to do. Selling it because you heard the report reminds me of this. People who buy headlines today sell newspapers tomorrow. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I'll see you to wrap up the week, TGIF. decent week being short the dollar, right? We're prepped for it last week. Let's see what kind of weekly close we get. That's going to be important to me, but I'm going to stick with a weak dollar for one more low unless we start trading above 101.50. That's the takeaway. So if you want to sell a pop in the dollar, you could do so, but know where you're wrong. Call it, give it a little tolerance over 1.5, say like 101.85. All right. Have a great day. Everyone, see you in the room. Adios.